Hi, it's Wallace. If you didn't know, last weekend, a ton of different author tubers got together and did 24 hours worth of live streaming sprints and called it the Worldwide Writeathon. It had been a while since I had a day entirely dedicated to writing, so I thought the Writeathon would be the perfect time to really buckle down and have a really heavy writing day while still getting to participate in the AuthorTube community. Now, if you're interested in actually seeing my experience and all the emotions I went through, and specifically if you're interested in knowing how my hair went from looking like this to looking like this, just keep on watching. I vlogged the whole thing. However, if you're really only interested in knowing how many words I got, how many hours I wrote, and my overall thoughts on the experience, skip to roughly this time. All right, we're gonna go back in time a few days, back to the magical land of Saturday morning. Good morning. It is just about 15-ish minutes until the first of the live streams begin. My main goal for the day, I was debating between doing a word count goal or a time goal, and I think I'm gonna go with a time goal just because I don't want to over-exert myself, I guess. My goal is to participate in 10 of the 24 hours of the Writeathon. But even though I don't have a word count goal, I want to keep track of my word count because I am curious to know how many words I can get in that chunk of time. That'll just be an interesting point of data to have, I think. There is now exactly about 10 minutes before it starts, and I'm debating if I want to go make myself a drink. Yes, I think I do. I think I'm all set. I have my space set up nice and cozy. I have a drink, I have some fake candles and a real candle to light if I feel like it later. All the windows in my room are open. There's a breeze coming off the lake. It's cool outside. It's lovely. I'm really excited. It is time. It is now almost noon. The first half hour was just kind of an introductory, asking questions, just getting hyped up. The way I spent it was to make a tracker for the event in my author journal.
Not yet. What about you, Kate? I got 164 words, which I'm not mad at.
I spent the last half an hour of the sprint actually writing, and I got about 250 words, I think, and I filled it in my little tracker. I think I got 249, 1 word off from 250. Oh well. There's kind of a 15-minute break in between each live writing session, which lets you go get food, lets you refill your drink, make sure you have a bathroom break. That way you're not doing stuff like that during sprinting time, because the sprinting time should be for sprinting. The sky is looking a little bit like it might rain, which would be awesome to be able to write to some rain outside these windows and light my candle. So crossing my fingers for that.
Stuff that like wouldn't even think of.
Last week, we started doing Fanfic Friday streams on my channel.
I have switched to writing on my bed. The danger of that is the possibility that I might fall asleep. So we're gonna have to monitor that situation very closely. It still has not rained yet. I'm waiting for that ultimate coziness, and it wants to. I can smell it. I can smell it in the air. Just do it. Just rain. Just do it. In total, for the hour between 1 and 2, I got about 560 words. My mood has been good, although I do feel myself starting to get, you know, just the initial excitement is wearing off. I mean, I'm still really enjoying it, but there's just such a high at the beginning, and now I'm just sort of like, yes, this is enjoyable, this is fun.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, we're live! Yay! Round 3? It's like, yes.
If you're curious, the part of the story that I'm working on is now we are 6 days before Halloween. Our 2 main characters have officially met. Our actual protagonist has had her nightmare, and now I'm having her walk in the woods, and she is currently thinking about her mother and her sisters, and also she's in for a surprise upon her return because, surprise, both of her sisters, who she has interesting relationships with, I'll just leave it at that, are going to be coming home for the holidays, and they have just now decided to tell her this. And a whole bunch of other stuff is going to happen in this chapter, but I really doubt I'm going to get past this chapter today, so I'm trying to just think short term. I'm debating if I want to take a 20-minute break and then hop in on the live stream. I am feeling myself starting, not even really, I'm still having a really good time, but there is just a fatigue setting in very, very slightly. So I'm wondering if I should give myself a 20-minute break and then hop in, or no, not even or. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give myself a 20-minute break and then hopefully be a little refreshed. It never rained. How disappointing is that? And it's kind of hot now, which is meh.
Yeah, one time I did like 50 words and everyone was like 300. I'm like, oh, now I feel slow.
I'm back on my couch. It's really a thrilling saga, the journey that I have had multiple times today. Chair to couch, couch to chair. I've been saying couch this whole time. I'm on a bed. It's a little past 7 o'clock. Skipped the 6th sprint. I was feeling a little bit bogged down in the mind. I still have it up on my computer just so I can have kind of the background noise, but I did take a break. I was cross-stitching a little bit, and then I joined a live stream for a booktuber who was talking about Midnight Sun, and that was fun. And I am planning on jumping in on sprint number 7 once it starts, but I now get to put an entry in my tracker for the day where I had 0 words for an entire hour. Good evening. The lighting looks terrible. I look terrible. We love to see it. It is 10:40 just about, and something weird is happening. I spent the last hour and a half writing words, a lot of words, over 1,000 words, but for a story, a different story. Not a story that I had started the day writing, a totally different story. Not sure what that was about. It's not like a brand new story that I just came up with today. This is a story that I fully outlined about a month and a half ago, but I was like, no. I'm already working on 3 stories. I don't have room for a 4th story. I'm just gonna fully outline this, set it aside for a later date. And then, you know, at about like 9 o'clock tonight, I was like, no, I know exactly how I'm gonna write this story. And yeah. The conundrum is, do I move forward with this story and just follow the muse where it takes me? Or do I remain disciplined and work on the story that I need to have finished by October? And it is so dark. The lighting is horrible. But then that's also not pleasant. Oh, also, the evil little gremlin of ambition is whispering in my ear and telling me to stay up the whole night, and I'm not gonna do it. I have already participated in so many streams today, and I have written so many words, and I have made moods for so many hours, and I cannot do an all-nighter. Because here's the problem with doing an all-nighter is that I know if I do an all-nighter, I will get burnout, because burnout always happens whenever I push myself in that kind of way. It happened when I did the 10K day for Nano. It happened with Nano in general. Don't get me even started on that 7-month burnout. I mean, come on. And I made very specific plans to be extremely productive this coming Monday through Friday, because my master's program starts a week from Monday, and so I want to be very productive for the next week, just in case my master's program sets my schedule back a little bit. So, but I'm just having a good old time on these live streams and chatting with people, and I don't know, I'm just getting that joy from writing again that I haven't gotten in a really long time, and so I kind of hate to say goodnight to that. Also, can I even fall asleep? The way I'm talking, I don't think so. I think I'm a little too amped. So it's a conundrum. Okay, this is what I've settled on. It's a little bit of a compromise. First of all, I refilled my water bottle because I haven't had water since about 6 p.m. So we need to hydrate. Secondly, I am going to keep writing, but I'm not going to keep writing on the new story. I'm going to switch back to This Book is for October, because that story has been in my head for over a year. It's a little less exhilarating, and so I think I'll slowly de-amp, and hopefully by maybe midnight or maybe 1 at the latest, I will get tired and will be able to fall asleep, so that way I can be coherent during the morning streams. I am so tired. My hair is looking real good. It's going great. My brain is not fully functioning. I think that's fairly obvious. I didn't fall asleep until around 3, even though I tried to go to bed at like 1:30 because right when I closed out of the stream, it finally started raining. And of course my brain went, rain. And then it started thundering, like really storming. And then I couldn't fall asleep. And then I woke up 4.5 hours later so that I could catch sprint number 16 and keep the train going. But this train has a flat tire. That metaphor doesn't work because trains don't have tires. This train is going slowly. In the hour that I have been awake, I have only written like 80 words. It's fine. Not every hour can be 1,000-word hour, but you kind of hope you break 100. But you know, sometimes it's just not guaranteed. Hopefully I wake up a little bit. I was lying down for the first part of the hour, which, if I'm being perfectly honest, was not the best strategy because my eyes kept closing and I kept writing and then opening my eyes and realizing what I'd written made no sense. So to demonstrate how tired I am, I technically have written 96 words this hour. There's still 10 minutes left in this hour, and yet mentally I've already decided I'm not even gonna try and get 4 more words in so I can have written at least 100 words this hour. This might be my low point. I'm so tired.
How are you doing, Miss Jess, on your world building?
I slightly decided that I'm going to stop for a minute.
I'm back in bed. Do I recognize that that is probably a mistake? Yes. Am I going to change my behavior? No. Oh, I just whacked myself with my hair stick. Sprint 17 is about to start, and I have made an interesting discovery. I decided I wanted to tally up all the words that I have written so far during this write-a-thon, and my current total is 8,373. And when I tell you, when I saw that number, my brain went whoop and immediately started hyper-focusing on potentially getting 10,000 words. And yes, I know that in the last hour I only wrote 100 words, so why do I think in the next 2 hours I could write over 1,600? I don't know. Motivation is a strange thing. I feel much more awake than I did 6 minutes ago. Again, that's why it's a mistake that I've moved to my bed. I very much want to try and hit 10K. Wish me luck! It has been like 5 minutes and I've already written 128 words. I'm telling you, motivation is one hell of a drug. Very quick update. In both stories that I've been going back and forth in this last hour, I got almost 1,000 words. Are they good words? Ooh, the transition technology is next level. My hand. I'm blaming the fact that I didn't get footage of the end of the write-a-thon on my severe sleep deprivation, but I did manage to finish it, and now I'm going to be giving my full breakdown. Before I go into any of my major points, I'm going to give a quick summary of the things that I accomplished in the 24-hour write-a-thon. Here is the tracker that I made to keep track of my experience during the write-a-thon. I listed all of the live streams I attended. My total words for the event were 10,148. I was very, very excited to hit 10,000, and honestly, the attempt to get to 10,000 was kind of what kept me going in these last few hours. You can see the jump here from 96 to almost 1,000 in 1 hour when I realized how close I was. My best writing hour, the hour between 4 and 5 p.m., where I got, it looks like maybe 2,300 words. Although I say that with kind of an asterisk because some of these words I'd copied and pasted in from an earlier draft. If we're being really stringent, I didn't technically get 10,000 new words. A few paragraphs had been pasted in, but I counted it just for my own morale. And as for my mood, which I later decided to change to energy as opposed to mood because I was never in a foul mood, but I definitely got more and more tired. I started off really strong and was happy and cheerful for most of the afternoon. I kind of hit a small slump right here. This is where I switched over stories. From 11 to 8, I was working on a singular story, and then from 9, my brain just went, nope, this is a story that we outlined a month ago, and I want to focus on that. And I focused on that from basically 9 until 10. I slept from 2 to 7-ish, although I didn't really fall asleep until about 3:30. My energy level steadily increased in the morning as well. The hour between 8 and 9 was definitely my low point. I have 5 major points that I want to discuss in regards to the Writeathon. Point number 1 was surprisingly no burnout. When I first decided to participate, I was a little apprehensive because in the past, when I have pushed myself for long hours like this, I tend to get burnout. And since I've just overcome a hugely long stretch of burnout, I was a little bit nervous about falling right back into it. However, I wrote both on Sunday after the Writeathon was over and on Monday and today. So unless I'm going to experience some form of delayed burnout, I think maybe I dodged that bullet this time around. Point number 2, even though there's no burnout, it messed up my sleep schedule. It is now 3 days after the Writeathon ended and I am still all over the place in terms of sleep. I get tired at weird parts of the day, I wake up in the middle of the night randomly, and I struggle to fall asleep. So that's definitely a downside. My 3rd and 4th points are very much related. The 3rd point is I was struggling really hard with motivation, and this Writeathon provided a huge pool of it for me. It was a dedicated time when I knew I was supposed to be writing. There was no, oh, I can do it later. No, the Writeathon was happening now. The sprints were happening now. And I'm normally more of a marathon writer, typically not a huge sprinter, even though I like the community aspect of it. But something about sprinting this time around allowed me to get over 10,000 words. And I think a huge factor in that was my 4th point. The community experience was amazing. Everyone was so supportive of each other. They were all sharing their word counts like they normally do on streams, but we were also comparing story ideas and making jokes in the chat and just kind of frolicking in the general chaos as the day got on and all of our brains slowly turned to mush. It was brilliant. The stream from midnight to 1 in the morning, all the hosts were dressed up in Halloween costumes because it was the witching hour live stream. It was awesome. And I definitely think the community is one of the reasons that my motivation stayed so high throughout the whole day. And in the morning when it was really, really low because I was so tired, then I kind of fell back on the classic motivator, which is word count goals. And I got super close to 10,000 words and suddenly my energy level went shoop, and I quite literally sprinted to the finish line. And my 5th point is that I want more, and there's already talk of them happening again. Jessica Williamson was the person who organized the entire thing, and I'm pretty sure all the links for future events are on her channel, which I will link below 100%. And if you didn't participate this time around, and watching me go through all of the madness of it hopefully didn't frighten you away, but inspired you to participate in the future, please, please, please do, because the more the merrier. Really, the community is 80% of the fun. I'm so, so grateful to Jessica for setting it up, and every single host who had a live stream on their channel, and all the guest hosts. It was such a fabulous time, and I had so, so much fun. Those are the majority of my thoughts. If you participated, chat with me down below in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts were. What were your pros and cons of the whole experience? Let me know if you stayed up for the full 24 hours like an absolutely crazy person, because I need to know who I need to be scared of. I'm going to watch as the sun finishes setting now, and then I'm probably going to go to try and get a better night's sleep tonight. So that's it for me. Go write and go be happy. Bye. We're gonna let the wind blow. I don't know if it's making noise, but just in case, can you paint with all the colors of the wind?